But that would actually require these people to do something, to practice what they preach. But the reality is that people would rather find issues with the good services of others. So I was actually going to cover this topic back when MrBeast was being criticized for restoring people's eyesight. But just a few months later, and here I am with another opportunity to talk about this. And sadly, I have a feeling that there's going to be more opportunities to speak on this in the future. Look, it's no secret that times are tough for a lot of people around the world. With rising costs on a global scale, not to mention all the other issues that people are facing on a daily basis, it's a well-known fact that the average person is struggling in some capacity. And with reports that the wealthiest people had substantial increases in their wealth over the past few years, you have everyone else wondering when they're going to get some help sent their way. For as long as I can remember, there's always been people who've asked, why do the rich need all their money, or why can't they give more to the poor? If only there were wealthy people who were actively helping those in need. I'm sure that's something everyone would get behind, right? Oh. If you're watching this video, you probably know who MrBeast is, so I won't bore you with the long speech or backstory, but he is one of the most subscribed channels on YouTube, with tons of viral videos and a track record of helping the less fortunate. On the surface, there's no glaring red flags, but what about when you look past the surface? When you peel back the layers and expose him for who he really is? Oh, still no red flags. To me, it looks like he's just a dude who likes to make viral videos and help others in the process. So why is he facing so much backlash recently? Is there some sort of disconnect? Or is it just a vocal minority? This confirms MrBeast being demonic. MrBeast publicly asking his child audience to do child labor. Yeah, these are real comments made about MrBeast. For what reason? Because MrBeast asked his followers via Twitter if they could clean up the presentation of his Feastable bars in retail stores, at least in the meantime until he can get the situation figured out. What's even better though is that he adds on to this threat by saying that he'll donate $100,000 to charity as a token of his appreciation. Hopefully by now, you can see why he's literally a demon. Okay. Comparing this to child labor is quite the stretch. Nobody's being forced or manipulated into doing anything either. But sadly, this isn't the first time he's been compared to a demon. Remember earlier this year, when he made his video on treating blindness and this viral tweet was going around? There was something so demonic about this, and I can't even articulate what it is. It must be nice to be able to just throw out words like that without having to explain yourself or give any reasoning behind it, literally implying that this dude is evil for doing what he's doing. And actually, while we're on the topic of this video, I think people generally fell into two camps at the time. You either praise his actions, while maybe even acknowledging that it's sad that the system has failed so many, or you just hate him, and you call him demonic. It boggles my mind how anyone can get mad at MrBeast for curing blindness and helping others, and assume that they're on the right side of this. Ultimately, I think Charlie, aka Moist Critical, summed it up best.
MrBeast does everything that Twitter wants other rich people to do, and it's still not good enough for them. So yeah.
Another popular criticism I've seen is that if he wanted to help people, he wouldn't broadcast it and exploit those people, because now he's only doing it for clout and fame. Now you'd think some of this would be common sense, but I'll break it down quickly. In short, MrBeast makes money from his videos, which he uses to make more videos and continue helping others. From what I can tell, everyone's okay with being in these videos, and he wouldn't be able to give back to the less fortunate if he didn't have the funding from his brand deals and YouTube videos. He also has a second channel too, where from my understanding again, it's strictly a charity channel, as in he takes zero profits. As for the he's only doing this for fame argument, this dude's so famous at this point I don't really know how much more clout he'd get from doing videos like this. This next part's interesting though, because when it comes to the topic of being vocal about your good deeds, I've actually changed my mind on this as I've gotten older. Up until my teenage years, I used to think that all good deeds should be done privately, that they shouldn't be spoken about with no need for public approval. Anything otherwise is disingenuous and attention seeking. But I'm not sure that makes sense anymore. Well, first let's make one thing clear. There's people out there who will fake good deeds or explicitly exploit people for money while offering them little to no benefit. And of course I can't condone that, but I don't think that's happening here. Not to mention, when you're really in need of help, you're not going to care about some stupid stuff like being featured in a YouTube video. Would you rather be able to see again, but it means being in a YouTube video, or just remain blind the rest of your life? Like, what? And there were plenty of comments that agreed with this as well. The internet's so odd when it comes to this topic. We're so quick to turn a blind eye to all the negative content and bullying out there, but then shun the people who share their good deeds. Kinda backwards, don't you think? Now more recently, Jimmy's come under fire for donating 20,000 shoes to children in Africa, with people accusing him of having a white savior complex. Now, With all the hours of content he has available, I don't think you can really look at that one video and make that assumption. I understand the sentiment and how it can exist in today's world, but what are we logically saying here? They should stick to only helping people that share his same skin color? That literally goes against everything a lot of these people claim to care about. And I haven't even mentioned the much needed attention he brings to a lot of these issues that a lot of people don't know anything about. Overall, I think the hate towards him can be summed up in just a couple points. For starters, a lot of people just don't understand anything about business or basic economics, which is why they get mad at MrBeast for making money on these videos. So essentially they're operating from a place of ignorance. The other argument is that he's operating and succeeding in a system that's immoral and evil. This is where we kind of delve into politics, so I'm not going to be the one to talk about this. All I'll say though is that, again, that doesn't really make sense. And finally, in my opinion, remember, just my opinion, seeing somebody like MrBeast give back to others is a reminder of our own inadequacies. Okay, hear me out. If you look at him, he kind of just looks like a regular dude who happens to have money. So right away that's jarring. But this is bigger than him. I'll agree that there's definite flaws in our system that cause a video like this to be possible. But it upsets a lot of people when you have to face the fact that you're still capable of doing something, of helping in a meaningful way. And that could be with your time or your money. Instead, people will fool themselves into thinking that they're doing good because they shared an infographic on their Instagram story for their 450 followers to ignore, or by leaving a comment letting someone know that they're bad. You don't have influence like that, and you'd be much better off volunteering a few hours at a local shelter or putting a small amount of money back into your community. And I say this because this is what I've been doing the past few years. And the best part is that it doesn't have to be a lot. A $10 donation is much better than doing nothing. But that would actually require these people to do something, to practice what they preach. But the reality is that people would rather find issues with the good services of others in an effort to convince themselves that MrBeast is no better than them. And I'm sorry, but that's just not true. And let's zoom out some more here. What kind of message does this send? It actually worries me that people will see stuff like this and get deterred from helping others out, or striving to give back like their inspiration MrBeast. It's a classic case of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sure, if you keep your money to yourself, you're selfish and greedy. But if you donate it, then you're demonic. If you post about your good deeds, then you're attention seeking. But if you don't post about it, well then nobody knows that you donated, and yet again, you're selfish and greedy. Honestly, just do whatever you want. Because if there's one thing I've learned from observing people like this, people who said they'd help if they could, it's that when they eventually do get some extra time or money, when they are in that position to help, they do the exact same thing they've always done. Nothing. Do you agree or disagree? I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. And if you made it to the end of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe for more videos like this. I suggest you check out one of my other videos shown on screen here. With all that said, thanks for watching and stay winning.